Hello and welcome back to Paul's Racing Channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. So next up is round 3 of our Aston Martin GR4 Championship, and it's a short trip east through California to the Sierra Nevada mountains, where we find our next venue, Trial Mountain, a 2.5 mile anti-clockwise circuit. Now this is fictional, has 15 turns. And is one of the easiest to memorise, but one of the hardest to drive fast due to its length. Obviously, it's about sort of mid to high speed venue, this one, or circuit, this one, and through the mountains, this ribbon of tarmac goes. So should be another enjoyable round. This one, two races. Race 1, 13 laps. So let's get on with the point situation before we start this race 1. So here we go. At the top then, still got Aspect on 75 points. Second place, we've got Dan in 59, closely followed by Conrad in third place on 55. So just a few points there within second and third place. Then we got Carlsberg in fourth and ICB in fifth, joint on 49 points. Then a small gap back then to Camblessy in sixth, in 39, 37 points in seventh for Firepower in eighth on 36. Ninth is City Shot on 32, joint with Crossbones in 10th on 32. So obviously only round 3. So that's after round 2. So still loads up for grabs, still very close with everybody there. So I think I've pretty much covered everything for this one. So let's get on with this 13 laps then ahead of us. And let's take you through the grid. We've got Conrad in pole position, Aspect in second, ICB in third, Silly Shot in fourth. There he is, Taff in fifth, Carlsberg sixth, Dan in seventh, Black Star in eighth, Cy in ninth, Firepower in 10th, Vane in 11th. So just 11 cars here on this first race. Let's get this underway then. And they cross the line, green lights, away we go. So up to this first tricky left-right sequence. Now, if you can get this turn 1 right there, you can straight line this turn 2 right on the hill without getting a penalty, and he obviously will make up a lot of time as well. So pretty much straight through there if you get turn 1 right, that is. So through the tunnel they go. Don't see any moves happening yet, although Dan is attacking Carlsberg for 6th place. Dan down the inside, is it? He does. No, he doesn't. That was Carlsberg attacking his teammate, actually. So we've got no, it's not his teammate. I'm getting mixed up here, isn't I? Aren't I? So Taff ahead of Carlsberg. And then his teammate, Taff's teammate, Dan in 7th, Black Star in 8th, Cy in 9th, Firepower 10th, Vane in 11th. So all as they were as they head through this long tunnel along the back straight. Neck and neck here with ICB and Silly Shots. ICB just sits in behind now, down at the bottom. This sweeping left-hander as ICB pulls out to have a look down the inside. I think Conrad might have got the same move done as well. He did. So Conrad in front, Silly Shot and Carlsberg. Sorry, ICB. I'm getting all the names mixed up here, aren't I? It's just started as well. It's going to be like after 13 laps. So ICB then didn't get the job done on Silly Shot, and if anything, he's now put himself under pressure from Taff. So maybe just got held up a little bit through there. Did ICB. Taff now attacking with his teammate behind him, Dan, in the Vodafone cars. A little tag there from Taff on ICB, but ICB keeps that inside line, does he? No, Taff got it done. So that little tap. Now Taff through, and also let his teammate through, Dan, who's now attacking his teammate. So the two Vodafone cars coming up to turn 1 side by side. So what's going to happen here? These lot, Black Star sitting behind them, ahead by ICB. Dan does take his teammate Taff, so up to 4th goes Dan. Now, does everyone get through here? Now, it is easy also to lose it. Lots of grass being kicked up, but it is easy to lose it on the exit there. Coming through, but everyone's through, I believe, as they come through this first tunnel. So still Dan, still Taff in 5th. And Blackstar, who's to the back of them now. This next left-hander, you can use all the inside there, all over that, the yellow stripes, as you can see. You can use all of that right up to the edge of the grass there. Just got to be careful not to catch the right-hand side of the tunnel on entry. Everyone's made that through, and I think Aspect might have just taken the lead, so let's have a quick look. The move down there, yeah, he did get it done. A bit of slipstream there, through the tunnel, out the other side, takes the lead, takes that inside line. Conrod, nothing he could do, just had to hold his line on the outside, and Aspect is through to take the lead. It's Conrod in 2nd, Silly Shot in 3rd. So Silly Shot then his own a bit. Dan and Taff still fighting it out for 4th and 5th. Not sure about team orders there, but Conrod's going to be right on the back of Aspect now. So they come through this final. I call it a chicane really, but it's not really. It's turn 14 and 15. But you sort of set up turn 15 as you come through 14. Go out really wide and then almost clip the inside apex for that final corner at 15. So they now head up the start and finish towards turn 1 for the 3rd time. Conrod on the outside, Aspect on the inside. Little dab brakes from Aspect. Now Conrod's running wide, does he? No, he hasn't. He did get it done. And he did a good job from Conrod, actually. Could have ended up pretty messy in there from Conrod. Oh, now Silly Shot's having a look at Aspect. So I think what happened is that Aspect, Conrod was finding out at turn 1. Aspect didn't fancy going through side by side because you can't. It was on the inside. He actually little dab of brakes. Conrod nearly run it wide, but got the line back as he went through turn 2. But what they did do was held up Aspect, and that's allowed Silly Shot now to catch up to the back of them. So he has caught up, and it is 3 here at the front. This train of cars now heading down through the back straight, longest part of the circuit. There's a move on front again as Aspect slipstream assisted. He's going to grab the lead again, but it's going to be a repeat. Does he get it stopped though? Does a switch back? Does he, Conrod? No, he doesn't. So a repeat of last time. Aspect with that inside line, Conrod with the outside. So another change again. So they're swapping positions, Conrod and Aspect throughout this. And now look at Silly Shot. Because of all that happening, he is now part of this little group. What does he do? Does he just watch him fight out ahead of him, or does he decide to make a move himself? Well, let's see as they come through turn 15 out the other side towards the line. Aspect, Conrod, Silly Shot. Still going on here though, isn't it, between Conrod and Aspect? Just stay with this for the moment, just to see. Aspect's got it covered this time. That's better through there from him. It's kind of covered Conrod's line and Silly Shot's there. He looks quick through there, doesn't he, Silly Shot? That's where he picks up the time, and that's what I said to you. If you can get that right, you're going to make time up for sure. So now Silly Shot all over the back of Conrod. It's gone pulled with Silly Shot as we come through the right-hander, staying to the left-hand side. Little dab of the brakes there, use all the inside curb, don't go too far out to the left, a lot of rubbish and junk out there, and it's a tyre. Use all of this inside across the lines, push that on the right hand as you come into the tunnel, and now all the way through, trying to pick up as much slipstream as you possibly can. Know if it's going to be close enough. It might just come to effect as he gets to the end here. He's getting a little bit of it, his silly shot off of Conrod, but not going to be enough to get this job done. But hard on the brakes now, down to about second or third gear. Third foot, silly shot through the other side, using all of the outside curb. Swing it from left over to the right, clip that inside, and then using all that inside curb there, down the rise, right in the dip, brake, change gear, use all the inside, out to the right hand side, following the curve all the way down. Then it's hard on the brakes for this hairpin left-hander. Turn 14, swing it across to the left, and then clip that bit of banking, and away you go. So there's your lap of Trial Mountain. We've got Dan in fourth, but he's picked up half a second, then Taff finding it out in fifth, still with ICB. So Dan's kind of got away from this group. Size close behind, also in seventh. But ICB and Taff is now the battle here, going up to turn one as we leave our leaders for the time being. It's very close now, you don't want to be touching doors going through here. Taff with a break, he didn't fancy it. ICB did. And he gets it done, but Taff's going to be on the inside now. ICB picks up half a second, runs it a bit wide on the exit there. That was presumably for just cutting the corner through turn two, which you can straight line. You've got to be a little bit careful not to take too much of it. So, sign out, trying to get past ICB, who's lost it. ICB is gone. Now, a bit of damage as well. Let's have a look. Was there a little tag? Did he? Was there a bit of contact, or did he do it on his own? Let's have a look. He was close to sight. No, I think he just done it on his own. The back end came round, and fortunately, well, I say fortunately, he lost a couple of spots there, but fortunately, he knocked him back facing the way he should be going, but he does knock him back down to ninth, so he does lose a few spots. That has allowed Firepower to come through to seventh and Colesberg to eighth. It's ICB with half a second penalty as well. Black Star struggling a bit here around here, isn't he, in 10th? So too sure if he's had any issues. Doesn't look like any damage on the car anywhere, so maybe he just can't quite get it going here at the moment for Black Star. And then Vane still in 11th, but hanging on close behind Black Star, so got a chance to get a move if he doesn't hit the barrier there. So 11th for Vane. Now it's all looking close still up top front, and it's still as it was, Aspect, Conrod and Silly Shot, so actually no change really, and not much difference in how they are. Still Aspect leading it with that small gap back to Conrod, and I think Aspect will still have that lead going into turn one by the looks of it. Lap 6 now. Don't actually need to brake, just a little lift of the throttle there to get you through. You don't have to brake at all through any of this bit, just all the way through. Now you brake in the tunnel for turn 4. That's Dan looking kind of on his own a little bit in fourth, so has he got anything to offer on the 3 ahead of him? Bit of a gap though. I'm sure he's got enough to catch up with them unless they start door banging, in which case we'll slow them down, give them an opportunity. Taff still in 5th, but Sight close behind, so these two still having their own little duel. Now Firepower behind them in 7th seems to have caught up, so maybe Firepower's got something in his plans. Science, go back with him because it looks like he's well in the slipstream now of Taff. As he pulls out, Taff's going to stay exactly where he is down the inside line, trying to cover it. So Sai, what's he got? Can he do a switchback? He does. He goes going to have a look, but he don't want to be on the outside unless he can get ahead of him through this little kink. Gee, oh, you've got to be careful there. Well, yeah, you can't go too through there, but Taff side done the right thing there, just backed off. So still 5th and 6th for Taff side. Firepower now, right on him. So here we go. See what Firepower's got for us. Is he going to have a go at these lads ahead of him? Quite close enough. Yeah, I don't think to have a go up at turn 1. So still Taff in 5th, Sight in 6th, Firepower in 7th. Then we've got Carlsberg in 8th, Sight ICB in 9th. Hasn't really recovered, has he, from his off? Smashed headlight and all sorts going on there on the front of his car. He had a penalty, I think, didn't he, as well? So yeah, still recovering from all that sort of stuff. Black Star still in 10th. Pulled away from Vane now, but got a bit of a gap ahead of him to catch up with ICB, and there's Vane. Oh, and he's just picked up for a second as well for straight line in turn 1. So our leaders are still Aspect, Comrade and Silly Shot, so no change there. I think where we need to look is the Sight, Firepower, Taff battle, or actually Firepower's just dropped off him actually, so just the Taff and the Sight battle at the moment. They are, I do seem to be catching Dan actually. So Dan had a moment somewhere. So have a look, he has been on his own a little while now, but his teammate and Sight do seem to be catching. Taff again, stays on the inside. Sight, is he going to have another look? Well, he does get that 5th place temporarily. Oh, he does stick it actually. Goes around the outside here. It's a good move. He sets himself up the inside there, so he learned from last time. He was on the outside, wasn't he? On the inside, I should say, coming round a sweeping left-hander. That didn't set him up right for the next right-hand, so this time he was on the outside of the sweeper. Set him up nicely, so makes the move up to 5th for Sight. So he's got his sights now set on Dan ahead of him. So they come out of the final corner and we'll start lap 8. So still plenty of time, plenty of laps for Sight to mount a challenge on Dan. This is a good bit of track, really good, great bit of track if you get it right. If you don't, then it's terrible, but lovely piece of track through there. And this through here, I think just caught the inside of the tunnel there, just slowed him down a touch. Powell in 7th, Carlsberg 8th, ICB 9th. Still Black Star in 10th and Vane in 11th. So as they were, back with our leaders, and Aspect now has pulled out quite a nice little lead over Conrad. So was that just through pace or was that through a mistake from Conrad? Well, Conrad does hold the fastest lap for 2:01.5, so maybe he had a little somewhere. Though again, you see it on that shot, that doesn't appear to be any damage anywhere on any of his panels. So maybe Aspect has just pulled the pin and decided it's time to go for it. So down the rise now toward turn 14, and could this be the start of the run to the flag now for Aspect? Conrad will obviously push him as hard as he possibly can, but it's these two now. Silly Shot has dropped well off these two. In third still, but I don't know if he's in any danger of losing the third place as it stands, but just can't live with the pace that the two leaders have got. This is Aspect on board with him. This is how to do it. There you go. You can almost straight line it now. Just let this one flow through and through the tunnel for this next part. Use all of the outside over the blind crest. tight on the inside line here. Smile to the cameraman, and then away we go. So Aspect looking good there in the lead. Conrod's gonna keep him honest. It's between these two now as to who will get victory. As it stands, Aspect is in a good position here on lap 9. So still quite a long way to go in this race. Now, one thing to bear in mind, of course, around here, being anti-clockwise, is that the front right tyre is going to take a bit of a beating. So one to watch out for, will the right-hand tyre last the length of the race? If it doesn't, we could be seeing some changes happening, because it could be make or break for that. Now we've had a change of sight on, and I think that was Dan going wide actually. Let's have a look. So Si was battling it out. He obviously got levelled with Dan along through the tunnel, got the inside line to take fourth. So Dan tried to switch back, Si was there. So Dan's sticking with him. As Dan's there, as you see, the tyres, right tyre on Dan, beginning to run out of life a little bit, but he's still with Si at this point. But I think he makes a little mistake, runs wide. So look, Dan is still there in fourth place, coming down towards turn 14. Does he get it stopped, Dan? Sure, I see him run a bit wide. No, it was there, yeah, just a little bit. The tyres wasn't terrible, but just a little bit that showed a bit of a weakness there in that front right. Still trying all you can to get with Dan, with sight. Here at turn 1. Right under his rear wing. You can't go through there. You just can't. That's not far off as well. The back of him. There he goes. Dan's going to have a go to try and get back on with Si, but Si is got a bit more tyre life than Dan. And it's proving so at the moment. How's Taff's looking? Yeah, not too bad. I think Dan's is probably the worst out there that I've seen so far, so he will be struggling by the time the end of this race comes. We've still got 3.5 laps to go, so in terms of tyre life, that's still quite a long time. Firepower in 7th still. His tyres are looking okay actually, so he's done well to keep his tyres looking like they are. Let's have a look at our leaders. Yeah, that's plenty on there, isn't there, for Aspect. Maybe that's why he's pulling away as well. Got probably the most on his tyres as Aspect, our leader. Conrod, yeah, he's getting there. Silly shot. In 3rd still, Sight, we know, in 4th, and then we've got Vodafone finding it out, and Taff's got past his teammate, or has he? He might have the inside line down here, surely. Dan's going to have to let him go. He's clearly got a bit more pace than him, so let's see what happens here with Team Vodafone. Maybe along here, Dan will give the place to Taff. Then again, he might not. No, not at the moment. So Dan's still juking it out. So doing well, considering he's only got 3 tyres really that are working properly. Taff better through there from Taff, and that's the difference. He might get a penalty there. Got to be a bit careful. Might get away with it there. Think's okay if you go on that grass on the outside. Yeah, but he did slow him up a bit. Just had to lift because he was on the grass. Firepower 7th. Another terrific race up to this point, hasn't it? From our League 5 drivers. Colesberg behind him in 8th, behind Firepower, that is. He's all on his Jack Jones now. I reckon he'll probably want a Colesberg after this race, after this championship even. There are other brands available, of course. ICB in 9th place. Black Star still in 10th, Vane in 11th, so no change really back there. These guys have been in these positions really for the majority of the race. Now let's see if this battle with Dan and his teammates still going on, and Dan's still in front of Taff. As we head on to the end of lap 11th, about to start the penultimate lap. Taff's going to have a go and he gets it done, but unconventional way of getting it done. And and there's a coming together between the two teammates, and that's not going to go down well. The team bosses, of course, Firepower made the most of that, didn't they? So let's have a quick look and see what happened back there. Obviously, we know Dan had no tyre left, and he just kind of squeezed Taff out onto the barriers. Dropped Taff back really, so Dan and Taff with a coming together. Firepower took advantage, got himself up into 6th place. I'm sure Taff will be too happy with that, but certainly the management won't be as they start the penultimate lap now. But obviously Dan is pushing as hard as he can on the 3 tyres. Penalty though for Dan, and Firepower having a bit of grass trekking. He's going to lose that place to Taff, which he does. Also got dirty tyres now. He's trying to get it turned through the tunnel, through the left-hander, but had it on full lock there, and the car just wanted to go straight. Did allow Taff to get through. Now Taff going to have another opportunity to attack his teammate here at the end of the race. Can he get it done this time? Can he get that 5th place off of Dan? Stick with Taff for a moment and have a look. He's surely going to have a lot more through here with the tyre life. Dan's got half a second as well, which is right at the end of the lap, so either way Taff's going to get this done. Now he's going to pull out on the outside of Dan. Dan's going to surely struggle to get this stopped. Taff will say thank you and I'll go past you, and exactly what I said, Dan just couldn't stop the machine. So Taff through, Dan in 6th place, still with a penalty to take. Firepower 7th, he should get past Dan to take that 6th place if he stays where he is now and they get to the penalty line, which is just before the start and finish line actually, out of the final corner. But Dan now having to slow down. Firepower already passed him, so Dan's got nothing left to offer. And well, he did fight it out, didn't he? But how's Colesberg? Is he getting close to Dan? He might do by the time, so 1 lap to go and Dan's got nothing left, so we'll be dropping down the order. We'll keep an eye on that, but back to our leader here on the final lap, and it's Aspect, who's still got a comfortable lead now in 1st place. Just going through the motions now, hasn't got to do anything too stupid, just need to push hard either. He's got that gap, he's got the lead, and he's on the final lap now, so just bring it home is the message. Conrad given all he can, he's got nothing more now to give, so 2nd place it looks like for Conrad. He's down to almost 3 tyres as well now, but we've got a few tunes to get through. Silly shot, 3rd place, been there all race really, almost got involved with the fight up front, didn't he, but just kind of died a little bit at the end, but still 3rd place. And there's been like this, hasn't he, through the championship so far, the first couple of rounds, just been quietly getting the results. Another 3rd will do his points tally, no harm at all. Knew he didn't have the pace to stick with the guys up ahead, but it's all just about finishing, really. So let's go back to our leader as we see him coming through the final corner. Now heading towards the line. Congratulations to Aspect, championship leader now. We'll extend that lead at the top with victory here at Tri-Mountain Race 1. Then we've got Conrad in second in the championship, so no change up there in terms of points movement. So second for Conrad, well done to him. Silly shot, did catch up a little bit in the end. Third for him, so there's your big gap for them three. Next up, Sight in fourth. He's going to be happy with that, I reckon. So fourth place for Sight. Well done to him. And looks like it's a battle between Firepower and Taff. Now I think it could just be Firepower just ahead of Taff. He does. So Firepower, good fit for him. Taff in sixth. Well done. Colesberg will grab seventh. Ahead of Dan, who finished in eighth in the end. ICB in ninth. Damage for the workshop to do for race 2, but nothing major. Vane, he did grab Black Star in the end then. Sorry, didn't catch the move, but so Vane ran in 10th in the end then. And then looks like Black Star, who struggled in there, didn't he? Got no tyre now, that's the issue, I think. So quite a few cars. Barely any tread left on that front right. But anyway, gets it done, 11th place here in race 1 at Trial Mountain. So join me again for race 2 soon. Hope you enjoyed that one. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.